Hello and welcome to this week's video. This week we look at words and phrases used when members of music bands discuss their jobs. We look at how they get along with other band members, who they trust the most, and much more. Don't forget to stay until the end to test your knowledge by taking our quiz. Anyway, let's get started with the first word. Our first word today is a little dossier. So let's take a look at how we would pronounce this. A little dossier. And again, a little dossier. Fantastic. Now let's move on to the definition of a little dossier. So this is a group of research papers based on a person, topic, or event. Excellent. And now let's move on to the example for a little dossier. So the example would be, the interviewer produced a little dossier on the band so he could learn more about them. He could then ask the best possible questions. The second phrase this week is, that's quite a mad thing. So as ever, let's take a look at the pronunciation. That's quite a mad thing. And again, that's quite a mad thing. Excellent. Now let's learn a little more by looking at the definition. So the definition is, this is an informal sense. This means something is amazing and unbelievable. So we move on to the example now, and let's see what that holds. So the example would be, the band admitted it was quite a mad thing that they had been playing together for 12 years and still remained popular. The next word in this week's lesson is Tiffs. So let's learn how to pronounce this. Tiffs. And again, Tiffs. This was a fairly easy word to pronounce, so let's carry on and look at how we would define this word. So this is an informal word for having arguments. Excellent. But let's see how we could find this in an example. And the example is, the band had been together for 12 years and had a few tiffs during that time. After each tiff, they made up and the band remained together. Our penultimate phrase this week is straight and narrow. Now let's take a look at the pronunciation and see how we would pronounce this. Straight and narrow. And again, straight and narrow. Excellent. So let's take a look at the definition. So this is to remain honest and moral, doing what is right for you and everyone around you. Interesting. So now let's take a look at the example and learn a little more about straight and narrow. So the example is, even though the band had tiffs, They were straight and narrow with each other. They did not fall out for long. Our final phrase this week is in a circle. So let's firstly take a look at how to pronounce this. In a circle. And again, in a circle. Excellent. So let's move on to the definition. So the definition is a group of people that someone trusts very much. They trust them so much that they are willing to tell them things they wouldn't tell others. Interesting. So let's take a look at an example to learn more about the phrase in a circle. So the band's managers were part of their inner circle. Now it's time to test your knowledge with our weekly quiz to see how much of today's lesson you can remember. We will ask you 3 questions on the vocabulary we have learnt in the video. Our first question is, what is meant by tiff? Would it be A, a story, B, a joke, or C, an argument? And the correct answer for question 1 is C, an argument. Question number 2 is, what is a dossier? Would it be A, a piece of poetry, B, some research, or C, some lyrics? And the right answer for question 2 is B, some research. Our final question this week is, who would be in a music band's inner circle? Would it be A, journalists, B, managers, or C, other bands? And the correct answer is B, managers. Thanks for taking the quiz. Let us know in the comments below how you got on in this week's quiz. And congratulations if you got all 3 questions correct. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions about this week's video, or would like us to explain a word or phrase from any context, then please post your question in the comments box below. We are always happy to assist you with any queries. Don't forget to like our video to help us find more viewers and to expand our channel in order to provide you with an even better learning experience. Why not press the subscribe button and bell notification icon so you never miss any of our future videos. Next week, we will be looking at words and phrases related to architecture. Anyway, thank you for joining us again this week, and we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.